You already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. Shall we begin? Shall we begin? So now, we're going to get straight to the point.
So these Trump Department of Justice actions are worse than we thought. They also terminated, not only did they terminate the Community Violence Intervention grants, they terminated the Violence Against Women Act grants. So that means resources for domestic violence survivors, for families, for those who are simply trying to be safe from harm. All of these programs have been terminated. The funding has been terminated because it's not aligned with the current administration's priorities, quote unquote. That's what we're seeing in emails, not aligned. So keeping our youth safe from gun violence is not aligned. Keeping women safe from their abusive boyfriends is not aligned. Keeping families safe after harm or trauma is not aligned. It's very clear that our lives, the safety of our people and our country, and of those most at risk, are not aligned with this administration. They rather scapegoat, point blame, and then literally pull resources from under those who are just fighting for survival. Pretty dark day. We just caught wind that Trump's Department of Justice has just announced that they're terminating grants previously awarded to community violence intervention programs. These are programs that are funded based on a bipartisan law that was passed in 2022. And these organizations applied, were awarded, and over $300 million in funds have either gone out the door or have been committed, and they are being terminated. This could have a huge impact on how safe our communities are, because these are programs that have led the charge to reduce homicides by 30% the last few years. And then those dollars were slashed just with an email. So it's just proof that this person does not care about saving our lives or keeping our country safer. More to come.
Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Do you want the ugly truth? Or do you want me to give you a beautiful lie? Which one? I'm going to give you the ugly truth. So Donald Trump decides to cut billions of dollars in programs for domestic violence, right? Listen up now. For domestic violence and the programs so we could pretend, like Big U, for example, stealing millions of dollars, allegedly. One of the charges he's in jail for, because he's extorting the hood and using the programs to extort the government at the same time, just like many other people that didn't get locked up yet, right? Nothing's changing in the hood. Dudes are getting paid. Checks is being sent out in the hood. Because women are making poor kitty cat decisions. You give your milk and cookies up to a nigga that decides 5 minutes later he want to oops upside your head. And the government is supposed to pay for that. Who? Scooby-Dooby-Doo? The government is supposed to pay because you laid down with a nigga that don't love his kid. Or you chased the baby father away and now another nigga is beating your... And now the government is supposed to pay because the nigga that you chose to hug and love want to beat on you? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It doesn't. Y'all have poor pussycat decisions where you giving up the putty cat to a nigga and you ain't taking time to get to know the nigga, and taxpayers gotta pay for that. Not on my watch. I totally stand with this decision to cut those programs because women need to be more careful, for one, of who they choose. For two, when a man decides that he doesn't want to deal with a woman no more because she's sitting on her ass and not doing nothing and he's tired of taking care of the couch potato who brings nothing to the table, and he decides that he doesn't want to pay the bills and want to be responsible for this dead weight, now this female can sit up there and say, okay, I got something for you. Someone please dial 911. Hello? Officer Foley? Yeah, he just hit me. Now you got a female, a dude, right? He's in jail for domestic violence. And the reward for a female giving up her goods to a nigga she got to disagree with him, he gets to go to jail. And they put her up in one of the finest apartments that she'll never pay for through government funding called Section 8 and other programs. America is trillions of dollars in debt. I don't know how. But one of the excuses is they're going to use is these situations right here because they got to take care of us with our own tax money. But that's a whole nother story. I don't agree with it. I think that some of these programs need to be cut. You know why? Because as long as somebody keeps giving you, it keeps you crippled. But the minute they teach you how to fish, see, that's a whole different conversation. I don't want your handout. Teach me how to get it, how you getting it, so I could go get it and bring it back and teach somebody else how to get it. Welfare was the worst thing that ever happened to us. Outside of integration, when Martin Luther King decided that he wanted to move in the burning house. And when we integrated and moved into the burning house, we left all our resources, our factories, our jobs, our communities, our own doctors behind. Now we forced, when it's time to go to the doctor, we're forced by their rules to go to their medicine doctors instead of our herbalists. You ever seen a person that stay taking pills and pills and pills, but eventually they die and never get better? Versus you ever seen a person who decided to change their whole lifestyle and go natural, and next thing you know, they looking 20 years younger? You be the judge. These programs, Big U, allegedly, according to all his people in the law, everybody's telling on the internet, took all his funded money and used that to finance his gang and ran an extortion ring in California. I don't see the benefits that's coming from these programs. And I'm sorry. God forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't want your turkeys on Thanksgiving. I don't want it. Remember, when the Pilgrims came to America, they came with blankets with smallpox. Keep your gifts. The land gives us everything that we need. Why we don't have our own land? Because you want to be fresh to death your whole life? Why we don't have our own cattle? Because you want to get fly and drive the latest cars? And you don't want to upgrade your lifestyle. You want to stay in the hood where you can floss on people that's poor. In the jungle, only the strong survive. Get it how you get it. Get it how you live it. The time for begging and the time for handouts, it's over. It's over. Nobody respects weakness and weak people. And when you have to beg and you have to ask, you weak. And oh, you need these programs because you worked for 50 years out of your life, now you sick. But you never thought about putting away for a rainy day. You thought this corporation called America was going to care about your finances when you reached to be an old age? Is that what you thought? It's time to pull a baby bottle. It's time to take the pacifier out of your mouth. As a people, we need to grow up. When it comes to black spending power, we are the 8th superpower in the world, number 8. Our spending power is number 8 in the world. But we begging for programs? Make that make sense. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. I'm out.